Which is better, a pardon or an expungement in Oklahoma? Many people with criminal records in Oklahoma want to know whether they should pursue a pardon or an expungement. Although both forms of relief can help individuals move forward after a criminal case, they are very different legal remedies with different purposes, requirements, and effects. In some situations, an expungement may provide broader practical benefits than a pardon because it can seal records from public view. In other cases, a pardon may be the only available option, especially when a conviction does not qualify for expungement. For some individuals, obtaining a pardon may eventually help create eligibility for a later expungement. Because Oklahoma law treats pardons and expungements differently, understanding the advantages and limitations of each is extremely important. What is a pardon in Oklahoma? A pardon is official forgiveness granted by the Governor of Oklahoma after recommendation from the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board. A pardon does not erase or seal the criminal conviction. Instead, it serves as formal recognition that the individual has demonstrated rehabilitation and deserves relief from some of the consequences of the conviction. A pardon may help restore certain civil rights, improve employment opportunities, assist with professional licensing, and demonstrate rehabilitation to employers or courts. However, the conviction itself generally still remains visible on criminal background checks unless additional expungement relief is later granted. What is an expungement? An expungement is a court process that seals criminal records from public access. If an expungement is granted, the records are generally removed from public databases and most employers, landlords, and members of the public can no longer view the case during ordinary background searches. Depending on the circumstances, Oklahoma law may allow expungement of dismissed charges, deferred sentences, certain misdemeanor convictions, some nonviolent felony convictions, and arrests where no charges were filed. Unlike a pardon, an expungement directly affects public visibility of the record itself. An expungement usually provides greater privacy protection. For many individuals, an expungement provides broader day-to-day practical benefits because the record becomes sealed from most public searches. This can significantly help with employment applications, housing opportunities, professional licensing, educational admissions, and personal reputation. A pardon may help demonstrate rehabilitation, but the conviction usually remains visible unless expungement relief is also granted. For this reason, many people consider expungement to be the stronger form of relief when available. A pardon may be easier to obtain in some cases. Some convictions that cannot currently be expunged may still qualify for a pardon. For example, individuals with multiple felony convictions, older criminal records, and certain ineligible offenses, and may still potentially seek clemency relief through the pardon process even when expungement is unavailable. The pardon process often focuses heavily on rehabilitation, community involvement, employment history, and conduct since the conviction occurred. A pardon can sometimes help lead to an expungement. In certain Oklahoma cases, obtaining a pardon may later create eligibility for expungement. For some felony convictions, Oklahoma law allows expungement only after the person receives a full pardon, and additional statutory requirements are satisfied. This means that for some individuals, the pardon becomes an important first step toward eventually sealing the criminal record. The processes are very different. The pardon process and expungement process involve entirely different procedures. A pardon generally involves applying through the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board, extensive background review, personal history and rehabilitation evidence, investigation and recommendation procedures, and final decision by the governor. An expungement generally involves filing a petition in court, serving government agencies, attending a court hearing, and proving eligibility under Oklahoma statutes. Because the procedures differ substantially, the strategy for pursuing each type of relief also differs. Neither remedy is automatic. Both pardons and expungements are discretionary forms of relief. Even if a person technically qualifies, approval is never guaranteed. courts and reviewing authorities often examine the seriousness of the offense, criminal history, rehabilitation efforts, employment stability, community involvement, and time elapsed since the conviction. Strong evidence of rehabilitation is often extremely important in both processes. Which is better depends on the situation. There is no universal answer regarding whether a pardon or expungement is better. The best option depends heavily on the type of conviction, whether expungement eligibility exists, the individual's criminal history, and long-term personal and professional goals. In many situations, an expungement provides greater practical privacy benefits. A pardon may provide broader forgiveness and restoration opportunities, and some individuals may ultimately pursue both. Okmulgee criminal defense attorneys. Oklahoma pardon and expungement laws are highly technical and fact-specific. Many people incorrectly assume they are permanently ineligible for relief or misunderstand how the two processes interact. Because criminal records can continue affecting employment, housing, licensing, and future opportunities for years, individuals seeking a fresh start should carefully evaluate all available legal options with experienced counsel. For a free consultation with a criminal defense attorney at Kania Law, Okmulgee Lawyers, call 918-621-8083.